a little hack of a friend of mine that they swore by. And I tried it, and I did it as a blind taste because I swore that it wouldn't work, and it did. Mango chutney, 1 teaspoon. Slightly strange, but go with it.
Go with it. A friend recommended the hack. Today we're going to be seeing how Jamie Oliver makes his mac and cheese. Hopefully though, it won't be like his lasagna fiasco that we reviewed recently.
This will be absolutely like a lasagna.
No, this is not a lasagna. In any case, if you do happen to enjoy this video, guys, then be sure to give this video a like, a share, and don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future content. But most importantly, watching the video to the end actually helps the video the most. Hopefully you do enjoy this video, and let's get started.
Lovely people, we are gonna make the most incredible mac and cheese. I've got a recipe for you that's gonna blow your mind.
It's never a good idea to make promises that you can't keep.
Let's do this. First up, a nice big knob of butter into a pan. Finely slice 3 of these onions. As the butter comes up to the heat, 15 minutes to make these onions go sweet and gorgeous.
He's adding a lot of onions to this. Well, I think Jamie is going to be caramelizing the onions. So this will add like a sweet element. It'll sweeten the mac and cheese a little bit, but it's not a necessity.
A stir every now and again, beautiful. So after 15 minutes, you can see the onions have shrunk back down. It's lightly golden.
I was right. Jamie is caramelizing the onions. This will add a sweetness to the dish, which, you know, you don't need to do it. You don't have to. You can make a simple mac and cheese.
So I'll take 3 tablespoons of flour, and that's our thickening agent to turn our milk into a silky, gorgeous sauce. And that will immediately suck up all of the moisture from the onions.
So what Jamie's doing right now is making a simple roux. This is going to be the starter for the bechamel. Now, what's a roux? Well, a roux is an easy way of thickening a sauce. There are many different types of roux, but in general, you want equal parts butter and flour. Well, always a little more butter than flour because otherwise then the sauce is going to be a little lumpy. But there are 4 different types of roux. You have a white roux, which you cook for about 1 minute to 3 minutes. You barely cook it. You have a blonde roux, which you cook for about 3 minutes or a little longer, where it's still quite blonde. You have a brown roux, which obviously is a little darker. You cook it a little longer. And then you have a dark roux. And dark roux you cook for a very long time. Not until the point where they're black, but until they're like heavily caramelized. And the white roux, the blonde roux, the brown roux you use in French cuisine. Dark roux are popular in Cajun cuisine.
And then I've got 1 litre of milk. So slowly, we'll add that milk. As soon as it's absorbed, we'll add some more. So the rest of the milk goes in, and we're gonna let that simmer while we cook the pasta.
Now, as far as adding the milk, there are many that say you need to add a cold roux to hot milk or hot milk to a cold roux. In any case, if the milk is at room temp, it should be okay. But when you go to add it to like this roux to make the bechamel, add it in stages. Don't add all of the milk at once, because what can happen is you can create a lot of lumps, and those lumps can be quite hard to get rid of. However, if you're going to blend the sauce, it's a little bit of a cheat, so it doesn't really matter if you have a lot of lumps. It still does, but not as much, because you can just blend it, and if need be, you can pass it through a sieve as well if you really messed it up. There's always a way to save a sauce. Sometimes it may be a little difficult, especially if you don't know, but there are tricks in the kitchen that we use.
So of course, we're using macaroni. I'm only gonna cook this for 5 minutes. I wanna half cook the pasta and then let this simmer while we get onto the other flavorings of this sauce. So when it comes to choosing the cheese, you could do one, of course you could, but I wanna do it my style.
Oh, he's gonna be doing it his style today. I hope this isn't gonna be a repeat of the butter chicken.
This is my kind of version of a butter chicken.
Now, as far as what type of cheese you're going to be adding, not all cheese that have mold is good to add. So if you do see that your cheese has a little bit of mold, especially like on the rind here, which I think it looks like it's the cheddar, it's okay as long as you don't add it. It's not a big deal. As a matter of fact, you want to try to get rid of it because that mold would just spread because it's eating the cheese. And it can spread to everything else in the fridge as well. Some mold is good, but there are other types of mold that's not good.
100 grams of cheddar. Now that's a good flavor and a good melter.
It depends on the type of cheddar. It's being a little too generalistic. I mean, that's like kind of saying like all pizzas are delicious and tasty. And I know that's not a fact. I've had quite a few pizzas that taste like cardboard. And like pizzas, not all cheese is made the same.
Then we're gonna go to a really stringy, gorgeous cheese. So this is a raclette, but you could absolutely use a lovely Gruyere. 100 grams goes in like that. And then Parmesan. I'll do that on a finer side. And Parmesan just has that amazing ability to join up flavors, make it all make sense.
Parmesan, well, Parmigiano Reggiano, if you're gonna be adding the good stuff to this, the better the cheese, the better the sauce. It adds a lot of salt to this. So if you're gonna be adding a lot of it, just taste it, yeah, as you're making it, because you can add too much and then the dish is gonna be a little, well, too salty.
Now let's just talk about nutrition. This is not a green dish, but it is one of the most beautiful things ever. But also, as indulgent as this is, it's a brilliant carrier of seasonal veggies. So lovely fresh or frozen peas, bang, amazing.
Peas. Seriously, the first word out of his mouth that he says, well, you can add something to the dish, peas. That's his favorite thing to add. I mean, honestly, he could have said anything else, but it had to be peas. Don't tell me that he's actually going to be adding peas to this.
Getting asparagus in there, fantastic. Handful of spinach. But today, we're keeping it really simple. And this pasta has had nearly 5 minutes. Get into this pasta water and steal some of this starchy water, and we might need that later. We've only half cooked the pasta, and there's good reason for that, because when it carries on its journey of cooking, it's sucking up that flavor, not water.
A lot of people have told me recently that I pick on Jamie too much. I mean, I'm not as hard as him as Uncle Roger is. Yeah, I'm not. I could be, but I'm not. And I give credit where it's due. Jamie with this is right. You don't want to fully cook the pasta if you're going to then put this in the sauce and continue cooking it by putting it either in the oven or letting it stay in the sauce. Also, when taking the pasta out, well, it should be a little less done than al dente, it's going to continue carrying over and cooking because the pasta is not being cooled down. So if you run some cold water under the pasta, it'll stop the pasta from cooking. That's one thing. If you let the pasta, just let it sit there in the colander, it will continue cooking.
So I'll get that in, and I'll save back just a little bit for on top later. A teaspoon of English mustard gives it an amazing color and gentle heat.
Now, just before anyone starts criticizing Jamie and going after him for adding English mustard to this, you do, or you can, actually add English mustard to this to just give it a little bit of spice. And a lot of recipes do have English mustard, so this isn't a bad thing. However, it's not for everyone. If you don't want to add English mustard to it, you don't have to.
A little hack of a friend of mine that they swore by. And I tried it, and I did it as a blind taste because I swore that it wouldn't work, and it did. Mango chutney, 1 teaspoon. Slightly strange, but go with it.
Go with it. A friend recommended the hack. Did this friend also recommend to put the mango chutney in the butter chicken and the shrimp curry that we reviewed? Yeah, did he? Which, by the way, if you haven't seen that video, or both of those, I'll leave the links down below. Also, if anyone doesn't believe me that mango chutney, that brand of mango chutney, this specific type of this brand is sweet, I remade Jamie Oliver's mango chutney. I still have that mango chutney, and tasting it, it's off the scale on the amount of sugar that they add to it. Honestly, this brand of mango chutney is tasty, but it's sweet as f***.
We're gonna add a little bit of this starchy water to get ooziness and silkiness. So it's really important to do this off the heat. We don't want to be boiling cheese. At this point in the story, we go in with our macaroni, give it a nice little toss up. I'm excited.
Did I miss that part? But it didn't look like he blended the sauce. Or maybe he did. But if you're going to be adding all the onions to this, and if you have any lumps as well, it's just a good idea to give the sauce a blend. Unless you want it a little lumpy. I mean, I don't want my cheese sauce to be lumpy. A lumpy sauce with mango chutney in it. Blech.
And I forgot one seasoning. Of course, Worcestershire sauce. A good couple of little swigs in there.
Now, personally, I've never tried it with a mac and cheese. I never would have thought of adding it to a mac and cheese, but then again, I would never have thought of adding mango chutney to mac and cheese either. And look at what happened.
And we are good to go. We're gonna take this gorgeous silky, pastry goodness. Look at that. So that goes in the oven for half an hour at 200 degrees Celsius, which is 400 Fahrenheit. Now, what I want to do to make it even better is contrast that creamy, cheesy gorgeousness. So we're going to make a pan grattata. Bacon, herb, garlic.
This is nice. Adding some crispy bacon and breadcrumbs to the top of this. Very nice. It adds texture and flavor.
As it starts to get lightly golden, that is your cue to put the breadcrumbs in. And these flavored breadcrumbs are like a gift on a simple pasta dish, even lovely stews. Amazing. These breadcrumbs have gone golden and crunchy. They smell amazing. Come on.
If the breadcrumbs are a little dry, if you don't have enough basically fat in that, you can add a little bit of lard to this and it will add more flavor to it. And well, just make the breadcrumbs a lot tastier as well.
Half an hour. Oh, look at that. Come on. Mac and cheese beautifulness. Crack.
Kind of sounds like a kid when he goes into a toy shop. Huh? Whee!
Come on. You know it makes sense. A few beautiful salad leaves. The ultimate smoky bacon. Crispy bits. Enough talking, let's just eat it.
If I just saw the end result and I didn't know that he put some mango chutney in this, you know, you could say, oh, well, that doesn't look that bad. But, ¿qué pasa? I know what he put in it.
Like the depth of flavor is off the hook. One of the things I like to do, which is my own personal problem,
I don't think that's his only problem.
is to take a vulnerable, empty gem lettuce leaf and then load it with mac and cheese. And I actually do this at home, and my kids are around the table, and they're just looking at me going, you are such an idiot, you are like...
They took the words right out of my mouth.
But then, when they try it, they realise that I'm a missionary, trying to make the world a better place through mac and cheese. Don't judge me. I say no more, but click the link and cook it. You'll love it.
One thing that I love about Jamie, and for the most part, nobody can deny this, he is a character. He's good on camera. Whether or not you enjoy his recipes or whether you don't like them at all and you think they're disgusting, well, at least some of them, he's a character. But you do have to admit, some of these recipes have just been bizarre. I mean, think about it. The chili jam and the silken tofu with a little bit of water in the egg fried rice. That was the big one. The mango chutney in butter chicken. Chorizo in the paella, but on top of all that, peas are his favorite vegetable because he has literally added peas to just about every recipe that we have reviewed with him. And I've also remade a few of those videos as well. The butter chicken, the paella, and maybe we'll make some of the other ones. I don't know yet. But in any case, guys, hopefully you did enjoy it. Be sure to give this video a like, to share, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future content. And be sure to check out this next video coming up here, and I will see you guys again very soon. Until then, take care.